What's going on, guys? It's Marcus here from Street Text, and I have a question for you. I really want to know who in this audience, and I believe about 2,500 of you, specifically realtors, that may have the opportunity to tune in here. How many of you are on pace to do over 24 transactions this year? I was watching a Tom Ferry video yesterday, and one of the things that stood out to me was that there's only 3% of the industry in the US that will do more than 24 transactions. I think it was 43,000 realtors in total, okay? And that's all the real estate industry in the United States. Only 3% of you will do more than 24 transactions. That's mind-blowing to me. That means 97% are doing less than 2 deals a month. So I'm curious. Talk to me, walk me through. What is preventing you from being in that 3%? And you may be just new to the game. You may be in the first few years, but I want to teach you a model that I believe will give you that ability to get into the 3%, maybe even to the 1%. And the whole idea, the title here is how to make $1 million commissions from online leads without having to pick up the phone. Well, you want to know and first understand that the key to expanding your sphere outside of people you know right now, how to create a repeat and referral business is going to be on getting in front of new people every single day. And I'm not meaning by just handing out business cards and networking, which is a great thing to do. I mean on leveraging social media. I mean on really focusing in on where you're spending your marketing and advertising dollars, how you can measure that. Because what you got to know and tap into is Facebook and Instagram is here to stay. The majority of homeowners and buyers are on Facebook and Instagram, and they're spending a crazy amount of time scrolling down a newsfeed every single day. Facebook knows that, and they give you the chance to actually measure the effectiveness of that dollar. So when you go to create a campaign, ultimately you're trying to create a campaign that will cause people to take action, right? The message has to be clear. The message has to be compelling enough for them to click on it saying, I want to know more. And then when you ask for whatever that call to action is, whether it's a buyer campaign around a list of properties that you're generating, or on the seller side, we all know that at the end of the day, you guys may have mixed opinions about this, but sellers want to know what they can sell their home for. And so I don't care if you've seen it all the time. The key is it's a consistent and predictable and evergreen model that's going to produce new contacts for you. So why I want to, for you to understand the no part of this is the no is your brand. You need to be out there tapping into Facebook, tapping into Instagram, getting in front of at least 5,000 people a week. That's what I see in most markets, and it depends. Okay, this is just the average spend I see around $10 a day with my clients. But that's going to translate differently in a market like Vancouver or San Francisco in the $1 million plus market. Okay, you might have to spend a little bit more money to have the same effectiveness. So it's not a level playing field out there. You have to understand sometimes certain markets. Of course, $1 million commission versus $150,000 homes may be quite different. So really consider that. Brent, hey Marcus, I tried Street Text 18 months ago and had a lot of difficulty getting responses from people via contacts that connected through Street Text. What has changed? Okay, great question. I'm going to address that. So at the end of the day, the main capture, okay, the main part of your business is building a database. And you got to understand technology has evolved. So Brent, when you're asking what's changed, it's your ability to get in front of emails with you right now, like what I'm doing right now. In the past, and this is mind-boggling to really get this. Most of you are doing lead generation the wrong way. Not so much on leads coming in, because it's easy to capture addresses, it's easy to capture emails for the most part. It's what you do with that email. You look at it as strictly transactional. You're not spending a lot of time really thinking this through, that every single person who provides an email is an opportunity to introduce yourself, okay, to communicate who you are, to ask questions. So when I say capture emails in database, that's number one. You can figure that out. I have had agents do it well without ever getting face-to-face with them. I have agents that have done a dozen or more deals in a year. I have one that did 50 deals with us in 1 year. But she caught on the technology quite early. She knew that the power of that first impression, that power of, because you guys got to remember this. I think you forget, and sometimes you neglect the experience from the consumer, from the homeowner. If we're talking about seller leads, right? They're scrolling down their newsfeed. They see the ad itself. They click on it. You capture that information. In that moment, they give you the email because they believe that something's coming to them that they wanted. Now, at that very moment, do you honestly believe that a HTML text is going to get you the answer that you want? That they're just going to say, come list my home or take me to that perfect property that I want? Absolutely not. They're going to fall in love with you. This is all about building like and trust. This is about building rapport. This is about a relationship. This is about humanizing the process. So if you're not adapting to technology that allows you to do that immediately, that's why, Brent. So when you're not getting responses, you're not getting in front of them. It's like this. Call it digital door knocking if you want to. They now have opened the door to their home, okay? They've given you permission to basically 30 seconds. Let's just have a 30-second elevator pitch opportunity, okay, where you can just communicate who you are. And then the next piece of this, when you look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I say, okay, you're capturing your emails, you're building that database, you use automated video and text, because nowadays, if they provide the phone number, you can have an automatic text firing out with a video itself, okay? But in the email, at the very minimum, the email, some of you are getting multiple emails a day, I have, in some cases, and some of these markets that you're in, I've seen 10 plus emails coming in a day. So can you imagine 10 opportunities for doors to be open for you to have a video in front of them communicating anything, right? I mean, I think the key is and I've shown many people, you can have a whiteboard, you can be mouthing to them, right? It could seem very personal, and you could be communicating the message that you need to have answered. In the home value example, it could be, and I was giving this example the other day, I could be giving them 3 options. Hey, I can provide a approximate market value. It'll be very broad and general. It could be anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 off. Or, your second option, if you just quickly picked up the phone or sent me a text, if we had a 5-minute conversation, I would give you a lot more detailed analysis. But best case scenario, let's meet up for a quick cup of coffee, or we can meet at your house. I'll be able to give you an exact market value. Let me know what works best for you. It could be something simple like that. But the key is uncovering. They want to see you as a real person. You want to ask questions. You want to uncover them, and you don't want to come across straight at the throat and say, I'm here to list your home. That's, in many cases, this is where they spent the last 10, 15 years. They created a family in this home. They have memories in this home. There's so much emotion tied to it. They want to feel like they can connect to that person. That person can see that is the most important decision of their life. And so you want to become that person that they can trust. You want to become a person they can open up that conversation with and take them through, which could be a very difficult decision and process. So what I'm really trying to emphasize here is you're going to use the automated video to introduce yourself and just communicate. This is, you're putting essentially a face to the name. You're showing them, hey, I'm going to give you this list of properties under 498. I'm going to provide you with a home value. But I just have a few quick questions because it's really important to me that I give you the most accurate information possible. I mean, is there any updates you've done, any renovations, anything that you could provide me that's important to you, right? It's taking the opportunity and the time to look straight into this camera, in the sense into them, because they're looking into you to see the authenticity, to see the genuineness. And you have that opportunity now with video. And that means that every single email captured is the opportunity to look at it as a relationship opportunity. It's the ability to look at every single database capture as the ability to basically have their door open and you get to say whatever it is that you want to say from your heart. Now, number 2, the important piece on that is when you want to use personal video is the follow-up to that, because that lead can be coming in at all times during the day, and you're out on a showing, you're out on a client. Hey, you guys, this is perfect for you to even do the automated response while you're out showing a home, because it will feel personal. It's like you stopped and you took the time while you were doing something to shoot that video, and it can seem so real. You know, when you're shooting, you're like, hey, thank you so much for your Facebook home valuation request. Just wanted to let you know I will be working on that shortly. I'm just with the client right now, but I am going to get to this just as soon as I get back to the office. Now, I have 3 options for you. It would really, you know, that type of thing. So they would automatically feel like, wow, I've never seen something like this before. And then secondly, when they do respond, and there's key hacks that I've found, both with the subject line that you're using. You can even embed emojis in the subject line, which I'm finding. Once you really discover that there's a formula to open rates with email, then it's all going to come down to how do you get that person to dialogue, right? To respond to that email. That's where personal video is going to come in. That's where personal email replies. That's where taking this whiteboard, okay? And I mean, some of you already know about the program that I use on, at least on the email video side. It's called BombBomb, but it's simply sending a message. And you know, Jason, what's going on, buddy? Brent, I'm just looking to see if there's any message I haven't hit yet. Sam, if you're on here, let's just say, Sam, quick question, right? I'm just going to keep it short. I mean, I could do a lot with here, but so I could be using this type of thing. Sam, quick question. Forgive the writing there. And that's the first thing they see with me mounting the name Sam, quick question. Now, I can't do a screen share here, but a lot of you know it. It's simply just where you compose in Gmail. I use Gmail and Chrome extension, and bam, that's what they see. And there's this powerful tracking tool where you can actually see if, one, the email's been opened, which we all know that that's a tool that we've seen before. Number 2, though, if they clicked on the video and watched your message. And then 3, if you had any links that you included in that, you'd be able to track that too. So now we're having this ability to be tracking every single dollar we spend from the marketing side, advertising, Facebook, right, and Instagram. So you can start measuring, hey, I spend $10 a day. Out of that $10, I captured 5 emails. Now I have basically a $2 per email or $2 per opportunity to introduce myself. So you got to look at lead generation completely different. It's evolved, it's changed, and you have to adapt to technology, or you're never going to make that 3%, let alone 1%. I mean, if you want to make $1 million in commissions, it all comes down to building scalable models. It's about scaling yourself, automations, integrations. You know, eventually you build a team, and a lot of that marketing, and it's adapting with social media and Facebook and Instagram, and understanding that you can tap into a evergreen model. So I just want to encourage you today and let you know that, you know, let me see if there's anybody here that I've missed. A couple new comments here. Brent, Jason, totally agree with me. Appreciate that. Is there anything that you guys want to highlight? Anybody who's watching right now, anybody that has questions, please comment in this video. You know, if you like it, give me a thumbs up. Give me some hearts. I don't really do these Facebook Lives very often, but let me know what it is you'd like me to talk about. And definitely take this online course if you're not already enrolled into the course. Even if you are currently a StreetText client, you'll see a lot of value in there. And hey, like, give me feedback. I love constructive feedback. So if there's stuff in there that you're like, hey, way over or boring or, you know, not needed, or more information or courses or modules you'd like me to create for you, we'd love to do that, okay? Like, we will work with you. We will work with the ad itself. We can work on the lead capture process. But again, don't try to change the model too much here. I know a lot of you want us to come out there and customize ads and lead capture. We spent millions and millions of dollars with Facebook all across North America, Canada, US wide. So we have a good understanding there. Doesn't mean we can't build things for you, but I always say go to the default. And then if the market that you're in is not working, there's a few things that we can do. We can change zip codes. We can change into counties. We can move into different towns. I mean, man, there's so much things. And then there's the retargeting model. So don't forget that you can retarget all those leads you've already captured with new ads to get them to come back in. A lot of people forget about that portion. So, but then, I mean, at the end of the day, it's how you start conversations with these people. If you have an email, you have a real person. And if we're talking about homeowners, which is, I haven't found a better opportunity. We're talking about somebody who is either just curious right now or looking to sell in the near future, but they're somebody you want to nurture, you want to create a relationship with. And it's all about building, right? It's all about winning friends and influencing people. They may not sell their home anytime soon, but that doesn't matter. They have somebody in mind that will. They have a friend, they have somebody they know, and if you build that influence with them and you position yourself as someone who genuinely cares, authentically cares about them, and is knowledgeable about what you do and is passionate about what you do, wow. I mean, that's the repeat and referral business you're looking for. So I think don't have this tunnel vision. Don't be narrow-minded. You guys remember that this is, Brent, I'd be interested in trying the program again. I like the idea of being more personal. Yeah, I'd love to share with you. I mean, this is my greatest passion, Brent. It's really knowing and understanding that this is way beyond what we initially thought. Where, you know, even drip email campaigns, I've seen 99% of them are outdated. I have somebody who uses LineDesk, for example, and she said she sent 66 emails before they replied because it was all text-based. I'm like, imagine if she would have used video from the beginning, you know? It wouldn't have taken maybe more than a half a dozen times before they instantly connected with that person, saw that they were really genuinely there to help. Also remember, when a lot of these emails, they go straight into a spam filter, or, you know, they're quickly overlooked. If you're not using the right subject line, if you're not using the right words, I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I arrive at the office and I see 200 emails and I just quickly go to mass delete, and I'll only unselect the ones that I believe are the ones that I want to read. I'm sure you all are guilty of that, right? Like, let's be honest. Who wants to go through all those emails? And so if they're not something that's catchy, again, a little emoji that you can now embed into emails, and I can show you how. If it's not something that has something like a video where you can tracking is a huge part of this, you're just going to be lost in the 99.9% of other agents who do the same exact thing. So be different, be unique, be early to adopt in this technology. Most realtors are already late adopters with social media and advertising and marketing. Be early in this process. Get in front of the camera. I will help you get over the fear. Right? I didn't just was born being good at this. Even doing this Facebook Live video is not something that just comes natural to me. But over time, the more you do it, the less you think about it. It doesn't matter anymore, because your whole, really where this comes from is just this genuine heart to help people, right? To help them get in, like, because we all struggle. We all have these massive goals. I was working with one girl, Nicole, who's a realtor, who said, all I want to do is have the ability to take a month off during the year and travel with my family, right? That's amazing goal. That's a big why. That's going to propel you to do this. That's going to propel you to get behind the camera. I don't know what that goal is. Is it money motivated? Is it lifestyle motivated? Is it family motivated? You got to figure out what that big why is. And then the like and trust, I will help you get through that. But then the time blocking, if you're going to make this happen, I did a post in my Insider group, which is our StreetText community. We asked, like, how long do you work on your business every day? Do you have a time block? And I saw this is the most important takeaway for you. Time blocking is essential. If you're going to do lead generation, you need to spend X amount of time, at least 90 minutes a day, if you really want to see a strong return on investment. And you might be able to improve that over time, but Donna Swansea, who's done 100+ deals with us at this point over the last 2.5 years, she time blocks 2 to 3 hours every morning and 2 to 3 hours every night, 7 days a week. Okay, directly translating why she's the highest converting agent that we have. But I mean, anybody who does 10, 15, 20 deals, a year with StreetText, specific with StreetText, they're all dedicating at least a couple hours to that process every day. And sometimes initially you have to spend some time on the business, a lot more time in the beginning, probably learning, going in with, into some of our courses, into our modules, integrating, automating, trying to figure out what works for you and what you're going to be able to do and replicate and how you're going to handle it. you'll probably spend a lot more time like with that in the beginning, but once you figure it out, then it becomes more integrated. And then you can get down to the model of reducing the time and really duplicating yourself. So yes, I'm glad you guys, I see a lot of you on here. Make sure if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and anything particular. Join this course, send me a personal message, send me a personal video. Did you know you can send video with Messenger? Have you thought about that yet? Are you using social integration with every lead you collect? Most of them you can find back on Facebook. You might have to dig a little bit deeper. I think you got to look bigger. Even with addresses, I'm teaching people, you can use systems like Spokeo. You can use systems like tax records. You can cross-reference that back into social media, add them as a friend, get in front of everybody, build your influence, right? Because if you're coming from the right place, you're not trying to get them as a client, which is ultimately what's going to happen anyways, but you're going to try to build a relationship first, because that's the most important. Like, take off the realtor hat and just be a human. How about that? Take off the realtor hat for a second and just connect. Find a way to connect. Hey, you a Giants fan? You a Raiders fan? I see that you have kids, right? I mean, just be human. That's all I can recommend. Is like it's not about just generating leads and building databases and, you know, machine, transaction. Like, let's bring this back to ultimately why you got into this. What's your passion? What are you looking to accomplish? Let's build relationships, and that's what we're going to do together. So if you have any questions, again, let me know. Thanks for all of you guys who tuned in, and let's make it an awesome rest of the year. Let's get you to those goals. I'm ready to work with you. Talk soon.